is a whispered review of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. If you haven't seen this movie, don't watch this video because there are tons of spoilers in this video. So get out of here, see the movie on the biggest screen that you can, come back and watch my review. Anyway, that was your chance. Spoiler warning. Let's get started. So, I loved this movie. It was so good, but don't go into it expecting a massive Avengers level movie because the trailers made it seem that way. And that's not a bad thing. It's very much a contained movie, even though it introduces a ton of potential into the MCU. Movie starts off, Doctor Strange has a nightmare, and he goes to Christine Palmer's wedding where he's putting on a facade that he's happy, but you can tell that inside he's really hurting and really just unhappy and sad. As in any Marvel movie, a giant monster, Gargantos, interrupts the wedding. Doctor Strange and Wong help to defeat the monster, and the monster is after a young girl named America Chavez. You see her running from this monster, Doctor Strange and Wong save her, and she doesn't trust Doctor Strange right off the bat. So she runs away. Strange and Wong convince her to come and talk to her. America can travel the multiverse at will. She was born in a dimension that borders between realities, between dimensions, and she has the ability to make portals into and out of other multiverses. She doesn't know how to use her powers or doesn't quite understand them yet. Anyway, as it turns out, the Scarlett Witch, Wanda Maximoff, was controlling these monsters, trying to get her powers, to get into the multiverse and find alternate versions of her children, because she has been mentally damaged from the events through the MCU of her life. Actually, probably the events of her entire life. The Scarlet Witch was the one controlling these interdimensional monsters, trying to capture America Chavez. In a act of fear, she accidentally busts a portal open, and Strange and America tumble through like 15 realities that are all crazy and more ridiculous than the next. There's a cartoon animated reality. There's a reality where everything is like liquidy, bright colored paint. There's futuristic realities. There's a dinosaur prehistoric reality. There's a reality that had skeletons crawling everywhere. There were several more that, off the top of my head, I'm not remembering right now. But it was a crazy scene, and I want to see this movie again so I can watch this scene in full and try to digest a little bit more. Oh, and there was an old-timey universe that was kind of set like almost black and white, and it had a laugh kind of like a Mickey Mouse type laugh. You know, Marvel is now owned by Disney, so it is what it is. Anyway, they land in a futuristic setting. It looks like futuristic New York. And Strange eventually meets and then gets captured by Baron Mordo, who is this universe's Sorcerer Supreme. This universe that they tumbled into was designated Universe 818, I think, and they actually said Universe 616 for our MCU, which is what that is in the comic books. Baron Mordo captures America and Doctor Strange because apparently all Doctor Stranges in their eyes are inherently evil or inherently don't follow the rules and cause more damage than benefit. They come to, and they're both in holding cells. And this universe's Christine Palmer works for this organization who is the Baxter organization. Fantastic Four reference. Finally, that's awesome. They're talking, and it comes time that Doctor Strange needs to speak to the Illuminati. Yes, they did a version of the Illuminati in this movie. It was awesome. So they put these handcuffs on Strange, which dampen his ability to use his sorcerer powers. So he walks into this, it's like a hall, and elevated. There are 6 chairs with a space in the middle. You've probably seen this in the trailers. The trailers took most of the people out of the seats, but those seats are full, my friends. So Strange walks in and looks up, and they don't show the panel just yet. It's mostly Baron Mordo talking. Then one by one, start to introduce the members. First member is Baron Mordo. Peggy Carter as Captain Carter with the British shield and everything. Awesome. Next, I was shocked that they did this. Black Bolt, an original member in the comic books of the Illuminati, was on this Illuminati panel, and it was the same actor who played Black Bolt in the Inhumans TV show. I did not enjoy the Inhumans TV show. It was not done well. It was rushed. The budget wasn't enough. It just wasn't good. But Black Bolt looked so much better in this movie. The MCU, Marvel did him right, and that actor actually looked like a formidable Black Bolt, and I think it's awesome, and I hope he comes back in the MCU as this character properly done. Next is a version of Captain Marvel, and in this universe, Monica Rambeau is the one who soaked the radiation from the Tesseract. And she owned her suit. She looked really good as Captain Marvel, and I hope they explore that a little bit more. And the next member, cannot believe they did it, man. They did it. It was Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four. John Krasinski played him. He has been fan-casted as Reed Richards for literally years, and Marvel did it. 100% fan service. I don't know if in future movies he's going to play the character or not. Maybe it's just from this universe. But he looked awesome as Reed Richards. The second you see him, the way they made his suit look, that was Reed Richards, and I really, really think they need to further explore John Krasinski as Reed Richards. It just looked perfect. And then the final member of the Illuminati was Professor X from the X-Men, and they used Patrick Stewart from all of the X-Men movies prior. And they gave him the comic book look, the comic cartoon look from the animated series. So the big yellow hover chair, and it was big. It was way too big, but that's how it was in the cartoon. The olive green suit, the blue and black striped tie. It was literally a page out of that animated series, and I am psyched. It looked so good. So, the Illuminati discuss. They tell Doctor Strange about what's going on. They tell him how Doctor Stranges are inherently bad and cause a lot of trouble, and that's why they lock them up, and they're hesitant that he's here in their universe. So, sirens start going off, lights. Wanda is now in the Illuminati chamber. She was able to jump realities because she dream-walked into this reality's Wanda. So she cast the spell in the 616 universe. She found this universe's Wanda and was able to put her consciousness into her body. So that's why you see a barefoot Wanda in normal clothes in the trailers. Wanda is destroying the Ultron Sentries. Also, I think I heard James Spader's voice as the Ultron Sentries, but so much was going on it was hard to comprehend. I think they brought James Spader back for 3 lines of dialogue. So she is destroying these sentries. She's coming for America. Christine Palmer tries to bust her out of this cell. She can't get her out, but out of fear, America is able to break the glass, and they get out. The Illuminati go to slow Wanda down and try to fight her. They think that she's not going to be a match for them. So Reed Richards, Black Bolt, Captain Carter, and Captain Marvel confront Wanda. They try using words. They try calming her down. It's not really working. Reed Richards tells her that Black Bolt could obliterate her with a whisper from his mouth. And you see Black Bolt smile. And Wanda goes, "What mouth?" And Black Bolt, his mouth fuses over, kind of like the first Matrix movie with Neo when it kind of does that, but his mouth just closes over, and Black Bolt, you hear him murmuring because he's freaking out, and you hear him go like he's trying to speak, and I guess that sound waves that he emits bounce around in his head. He ends up dying from the sound of his own voice in his head. unable to project it. Not many movies make me actually go. My mouth was open for a solid 3 minutes. I couldn't believe that they killed him like that. Anyway, the Illuminati see this. Reed Richards starts to reach towards her with his elastic, bendable arms. Wanda lifts him up in the air and starts to shred his rubberized body. It's just strips, and he's like just ripping apart, and then his head, when she gets to his head, dead like that. Two of the most powerful comic book characters gone. So that leaves Captain Carter and Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, fighting her. And Captain Carter puts up a little bit of a fight. She at one point says the "I can do this all day" line from the Captain America movies and Avengers movies, which was kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. She has a jetpack on, which kind of gives her Falcon, well, he's now Captain America, but kind of gives her Falcon-like abilities where he would like use the jetpack to stop or turn quickly and things like that. So they fight back and forth. She throws the shield at her. Wanda stops it and throws it back at her like in double speed, and Carter can't stop it, and it literally chops her in half at the midsection. And it doesn't show it. It shows her from the chest up, and her face goes blank, and you see her not fall, but you see her slide to the side and then fall. So she was severed in half. That leaves one more. Captain Marvel and Wanda are fighting. They're floating in air, flying around. Captain Marvel's putting up a good fight. They're soaking each other's energy, but eventually Wanda gets the best of her, slams her really hard into the ground, and drops a statue on her while her guard is down, and presumably she died. But we just saw her underneath the statue. We didn't actually see her die. Her arm was sticking out, and it just kind of went limp. If you don't see it happen, it didn't happen in the MCU. We'll see. So Wanda begins making her way to America. Doctor Strange is fighting Baron Mordo because it turns out Baron Mordo is somewhat evil in this universe too and has been putting on a lie the whole time. They fight back and forth. They end up, the handcuffs Doctor Strange was wearing end up breaking, and somehow one stays on Strange and one gets onto Baron Mordo, and that dampens both of their magical powers. So it's literally two sorcerers, two powerful magic wielders doing a physical fist fight, and it was pretty cool. In a tight hallway, Doctor Strange has some moves, man. I didn't know he could fight like that. Doctor Strange eventually gets the best of him and runs towards America. Professor X confronts Wanda, speaks with her, gets in her mind like Professor X does. He's in her mind. He's able to walk around. He's in an all-black suit at this point. Not real. This is projection. He's in her mind, walking around her mind. And it's all white with a door. And he opens the door, and it's all white with a pile of rubble. And a TV from WandaVision playing WandaVision in black and white. And he walks up to the rubble. And it's this universe's Wanda. Normal, nice, not evil. She's trapped under the rubble, like her child version was in her past in the WandaVision show. Professor X theorizes that if he can pull her out of the rubble, that will help unlock her to break the evil Wanda's spell from the 616 universe. He's trying to pull her out. He can't quite get her out. There's a red fog coming in around them, and in Wanda's mind, she sneaks up behind Professor X and twists his neck, which breaks his neck in real life. And this universe's Professor X like that is dead. 5 of the most powerful beings in comic book history. Wanda killed them all. Whew. It's a lot. It's a lot. So, get back into the universe. Wanda's confronting them. Apparently that universe's Doctor Strange, which had died in the past, locked away a portal to the Book of Vishanti, which is the that can defeat Wanda and can defeat the Darkhold's spells. And let's take a minute. I don't remember if I described the Darkhold. The Darkhold is what Wanda acquired from Agatha Harkness in WandaVision. And that is a book of pure evil, dark magic written by an entity named Chthon. And that book takes control of the mind of who reads it. So, Doctor Strange had created a portal in the piping under this building to a realm between dimensions where there is a book called the Book of Vishanti. It's a powerful sorcery book that can counteract the spells in the Darkhold. And the Strange of this universe found its location and made a portal that only he could open. Strange, America, and Christine Palmer make their way through these underground tunnels to this door. Meanwhile, Wanda is chasing them in a very horror movie style fashion. They stall her the best they can. They buy themselves some time. They get through this portal. They figure out how to unlock it, which was the key to opening it was his broken wristwatch from the first Doctor Strange. They get there. They jump down into this very trippy dimension. They acquire the book, but Wanda breaks in, and the book, the page that was needed, is burnt and destroyed. America is able to open a portal, but only Strange and Christine Palmer fall through it. They wind up in a reality that has seemingly been destroyed. So the buildings are breaking down, and the only building that's mostly standing is the sanctum of this universe. And there is a version of Doctor Strange in that sanctum. The Doctor Strange that we know walks up, and they have a confrontation, a discussion. It turns out that Strange of this reality has been corrupted by the Darkhold and is evil. And you are alerted to this by the dialogue, and he has a third eye that opens up on his forehead. The Stranges battle in a very unique fight involving musical notes taken from a sheet of paper. Sounds strange? You gotta see the movie. It actually worked really well. And when the notes were flying back and forth, the music of the fight scene corresponded with the notes that were being used as weapons. It sounds weird, man. It was weird, but it worked. In this movie, it worked. Our Doctor Strange ends up killing the Strange Supreme. He falls out a window and lands on a metal fence that impales him. But before the camera pans away from his body, his third eye opens. So there's some life left in there somewhere. Strange opens the Darkhold. Christine comes up and sees what he's doing, and Strange uses it to find a way back to the realm where Wanda took America. The movie gets back to the Wundagore Mountain Temple where the Darkhold was written. Wanda has America pinned down on a stone table, and she's stealing her energy away. Wong is able to climb up the mountain and disrupt what she's doing. Enough time for Strange to find his way back into this reality through dream walking, and he embodies a dead body of Doctor Strange, and that is forbidden in the multiverse. The multiverse realizes what's going on, and the souls of the damned swarm him and try to kill him, and Strange is able to manipulate them with his sorcery to become part of him and use them as weapons. Strange is able to disrupt Wanda enough to get America out of there. America is able to open a portal, taking Wanda to her children with the universe's nice Wanda. The kids are crying, Wanda's freaking out, and evil Wanda sees how terrified her children are, and it breaks her down and breaks her heart enough that, in so many words, she realizes what she's doing, at least we think, and she shuts it down and she lets that go and stops terrorizing these children. And that is how America and Doctor Strange end up bringing Wanda back to reality and just stopping beating breaking her, I guess you could say. That's how they defeat her, emotionally and mentally. America closes the portal on that family. They're all in Wonder Mountain. America punches a portal. She finds Doctor Strange. Wanda destroys the Darkhold, and she destroys it in every universe, so it doesn't exist anymore. And that pretty much brings us to the end of the movie. Comatage, I guess the home base of the sorcerers, is being rebuilt because that was destroyed in this movie, and America is training with the sorcerers and trying to open portals and learning with them how to become more powerful. Strange walks off, basically in so many words says he's proud of her. So the movie ends. A sunny day outside, Strange walks out of his sanctum. Everything seems normal. Suddenly he falls to the ground screaming, looks up at the sky, screaming, and a third eye opens up on his forehead. So I think that is a sign that because Strange has a photographic memory, the Darkhold lives inside of him still, because he can't forget it because of the photographic memory. And I think that because he has the Darkhold in his head, somehow it's still an entity and can affect the MCU and all of reality. The first post-credit scene is Strange walking in the city again. I don't know how much time has passed after that incident with the eyeball screaming, but somebody slashes through reality and enters the world, and it's a character named Clea, who is a supernatural being from the Dark Dimension, or she works in the Dark Dimension. She tells him how Strange himself has created an incursion, and he has to go fix it, and he willingly goes with her. And then the credits continue to roll. Then the last post-credit scene is just a little fun Easter egg type thing, and it actually involves the actor Bruce Campbell, and he had a small role in the movie as a food vendor who America stole food from, and he caught them, and Strange casted a spell on him that made him repeatedly punch himself in the face to get him away from them. And America asked him, how long is that going to last? Maybe an hour? And Strange says, about 3 weeks. So the end credit scene is him, bruises all over his face, punching himself over and over and over, and then finally it stops. And he looks at it, and then in that Bruce Campbell face, he looks at the screen with this crazy smiling face, and he says, it's over, it's finally over. And then that's how it goes off. That was just a little fun thing. So my thoughts on the movie, I loved it. It's like a borderline horror movie, like a PG-13 light horror movie. There's at least 5 or 6 jump scares in it. I was startled quite a few times to where it made me jump like this. But it was in a good way. You can tell that it's directed in a horror movie sense. The music and the musical score goes really well with the cinematic presentation of this movie. Probably better than any Marvel movie so far. I really enjoyed it. It was different, but it still felt right in line with the MCU story. I cannot wait to learn more about how they're going to present the multiverse and these incursions, and I think it's leading into the storyline called Secret Wars, which is a multiversal war between universes. That's how they're going to continue to introduce the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, and we'll see where it goes from here. I'm really excited. If you saw the movie, tell me what you think in the comments. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. And YouTube started a new feature. Someone asked me a while ago if there was any way that they could donate or support the channel other than views, and YouTube recently started a thanks feature, which is a button below the screen. If you wanted to donate, that money is going into the channel, not into my pocket directly, only to improve my content. And it's just a way to say thank you. If you enjoy what you see, I'm not going to pressure you into it, but if you do donate, I really appreciate it. I'll definitely give you public thanks. Everybody have a good day, a good night, and see this movie. Go see this movie. Go see this movie.